The very first flight, yeah, it's still quite special. There's a nice little film clip of it where in 6 seconds, and it was a big moment. In those days, I tried to balance 2 engines on each arm and an engine on each leg. So all 4 limbs are trying to balance, and I was trying to keep calm and stable and not rise up too much, but also not panic and land. And I remember it, and it was almost like holding your breath and holding your breath and holding your breath, and then finally landing and thinking, oh my God, we've done it. And really from that point onwards, it became a question of refining the concept. It was no longer in doubt that it was possible. The sensation when you're in the suit is calm and quiet and peaceful. It's like you're in the middle of a hurricane. It's spongy and soft. There's nothing hard or nasty about how you actually fly it around. It is like being in a dream. If you can try and disregard that concern, then it is just like that dream of flying. Like when you're a kid and you imagine you can float anywhere you like. You look at somewhere and say, right, I want to go straight there. It feels like that. It is real joy. Honestly, about having a lot of fun trying to prove that something that was supposed to be impossible might just be possible. And the idea was to take the human mind from a balance point of view and the body from a flight structure point of view and add on just the right amount of technology to see if you could fly in that way. And we've had a huge amount of fun proving that you can actually do that. And the purpose, after we've realized that it actually would work, the purpose has become really predominantly entertainment. If you can fly a 1,000 horsepower jet suit around over a load of water in front of an audience and make it look like some kind of CGI Marvel superhero, that consistently has a big impact on audiences. I didn't know if it's going to work, and when you have a crazy idea and then it doesn't work, it stays being crazy. If it does work, it turns into something that, in this case, seems to get a lot of great reception all over the world. You know, you could be in danger of wasting a lot of time. One key one was all about not being afraid to take a controlled risk, take a risk of experimenting with something. As long as we were really clear, if that experiment went wrong, it wouldn't hurt you or anybody else. It wouldn't damage your reputation, so it wouldn't upset somebody or get you arrested or something. And it also wouldn't make you run out of money. And those 3 rules have kept us allowing us to make very quick progress. Yes, so my family background was very much in aeronautics and aviation. Yes, and I think actually a lot of the inspiration has probably come from my family background. So it's really nice to be playing in the same world they all grew up in. Yeah, I think my family was very tolerant of letting me play and take up a lot of family time doing this. And I think it's been nice for them to see that actually the reaction of the rest of the world. I've spoken to probably millions of people and demonstrated to even more millions. I guess it's a fun story which a lot of people seem to connect with. It's got a connection to quite an unusual family background, especially my father's death. It's a story that seems to inspire people and seems to, get people quite intrigued by where we're going next and where we've come from. So I don't find sharing that story particularly difficult. I'm not trying to sell a new brand of soap. We're very careful to not say this is an Iron Man suit. The real Iron Man suit in the make-believe film is way better than what we can do, but we are closing the gap. So it's quite flattering when people draw those connections. I'm sharing a story that's all about having a huge amount of fun doing something that was supposed to be impossible, and it's flying. So I don't find it a challenge to enjoy people's interest in it, no. We have sold a couple of suits, but we don't really focus on that very much. It would be a bit like selling Formula One cars. It would be very easy to be disappointed because it's not going to start every time and it's going to be too quick for most things you need. In the same way, what we now do is we invite people to come along for a flight experience where you're on a tether, you can feel the engine start up on a low power, start to feel what it's like, and you get this revelation that it's actually very gentle. From there, you can build up the power levels, and actually the record is 4 minutes for somebody to learn how to hover this off the tether. I have to say most people take about 10 or 15 minutes of cumulative training. We have to see people can get through that training before we will then sell them a suit, but we sold the last one for $440,000. The thing is, it is noisy, it can be dangerous, like a very fast motorbike can be dangerous, and it consumes a lot of fuel. And in the hands of somebody who was silly with it, yes, it could be difficult. You could go to the supermarket and then collect some things from the supermarket. You could take a bit of weight and then you could fly back. I just think it would be nearly as inefficient as taking a Formula One car to a supermarket, which you could also do. It's not really ideal for it. But this is potentially the first stepping stone into a whole future where it becomes quieter, more efficient, easier to manage, all that kind of thing. So our big focus, you could say our big thrust, is towards building an international race series. I think that is entertainment, it inspires people and it accelerates the technology.